And now it is time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. It's a Friday morning. Welcome to our program. Thanks for joining us. And we want to, of course, talk about Wilson Bank and Trust this morning, as we do each Friday at this time. DJ Woods is here representing Wilson Bank, and good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Coleman.
Nice to see you again. Hope things are going well.
Yes, sir. Doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, doing fine. Need to tell everybody that you're Assistant Vice President and Loan Officer, and you've been here a few times before.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Commercial. How long have you been at the bank?
6 years.
Yeah.
6 years this month, actually.
6 good years, I hope.
6 good years. That's right.
6 wonderful years.
Yes. I can't think of a bad thing to say about the bank thus far. And again, 6 years is a long time to find something bad to say about something.
When you started out, you didn't start out, I'm guessing, as a loan officer. You kind of worked your way up.
That's exactly right. Actually, I came in, as we were just talking off air, I came in through what we call now the Banker Academy. So in that facet there, you get to sit with and visit every department we have with the bank. And as we were just talking about, there's more than just loan officers and teller row. So a lot of different things that I went through, had to learn before I got to be in the position I'm at now.
Well, is this where you want to be, really, to be lending money, helping people get the loans they like?
Yeah, yes, sir, absolutely. I've had opportunities to do other things, and there isn't anything quite like what I get to do, and the people that I get to work with day in and day out, and the customers and the folks in the community that I get to see every day. So there's nothing that I can think of that I'd rather be doing.
Well, things have changed a little bit in the last year with interest rates going up. Is that made your job less desirable?
It has not made it less desirable. It has made it more challenging.
All right.
A lot more opportunities. And I believe it or not, I like to play chess. So this is more of a chess match now, trying to figure out how to piece things together for everyone to try to come ahead. As much people may think, high interest rates is not always a good thing for the bank. We don't like having those high interest rates just as much as folks don't like paying those high interest rates.
Well, do you have a particular clientele?
I don't. I'm actually kind of a utility knife at the main office. So I do just about every loan there is, except for kind of our mortgage lending. We have a separate mortgage division. Outside of that, I do just about everything from a basic credit card application to commercial real estate. So there's really anything that I don't have my hands on.
What? Well, are you still have as many people coming to you wanting loans as you did say a year ago?
I won't say that we have as many folks. We probably still have many people coming in. There's not as many people moving forward. There is definitely a rate shock when you see where interest rates are. So we do see a slowdown there. And I was telling you, again, off air, is that where summertime, spring's on vacation. So it doesn't seem that there's slowdown just because we've got employees in the bank, spending time with their family and, getting time off. And so from that standpoint, we still have probably the same amount of folks coming in, just not spreading out as far to other lenders in the bank. So speaking of time off, I've got to make sure that we tell everybody with the new federal holiday coming up on Monday is Juneteenth. So I know that's new for a lot of folks. Most people still think the bank is closed on Wednesdays, but the bank's not closed on Wednesday. We will be closed on Monday in honor and celebration of Juneteenth next week.
So for some people, it's going to be a longer weekend.
For some folks, yes, sir. So a lot of things going on, I think, around town here in Lebanon. I think on Market Street, there's a big festival, Juneteenth festival going on there. And I know in some of our other markets as well, in Nashville and Murfreesboro. So a good time to get out and again, spend time away with family.
DJ, every once in a while when it comes to a loan decision, you have to say no. And I'm sure you've done that a few times. But I understand, too, that you have a lot of ways to encourage somebody. Maybe if their credit rating is not where it needs to be, or if what they're wanting is more than they can afford, you have ways of encouraging.
Some of my best customers, Mr. Coleman, are folks that I've had to say not right now to, and help them and show them ways to improve whatever situation that they're in. And set up a time frame and allow them to come back, and they are so grateful, I think, to be able to have more information than just, no, you can't get this loan, but hey, we can't do this right now. Here's ways that we can improve your situation. So in this time frame, we can come back and we can get what you're looking to get done.
Well, It's great to know you've been with the bank as long as you have, and you enjoy what you're doing. So you kind of got it made in that respect. There are the other things that if you work at Wilson Bank, that you are expected to play a little role in the community, some community affairs from time to time. Anything in particular you do of that nature?
That's exactly right. So yes, sir. There's a lot, and that's one of the great things, in my opinion, about the bank is our engagement in the community. Highly encouraged, and there are a couple of things that I'm a part of, such as the National Football Foundation's Middle Tennessee chapter is one organization I'm a part of. The Everyone's Wilson program here in Wilson County is another program that I'm a part of. Big advocate for Lebanon Special School District. There's a FACE program that I'm a part of from that aspect as well. And I know I'm leaving someone off, but those are the three that I've just had the most recent dealings with. But those are three that I'm very passionate about. One that we have coming up as well is actually kind of why I'm not in a suit and tie today is Sherry's Hope coming up. So we're doing a fundraiser at least the main office, maybe the entire bank, a fundraiser for that coming up in September, as most folks are aware of. So a lot of different things that we definitely take a part in.
Well, one other thing that's coming up that Wilson Bank's always been a big part of is the Wilson County Fair. Now, Wilson County Fair, Tennessee State Fair.
That's right.
But that's 2 months away.
2 months away, but from my understanding, marketing has already put an order in for popsicles, and I think it's yellow is your flavor, banana flavor, as most people call it. It's yellow to me. I'm not a big fan of the yellow popsicles. Any other flavor I can take. But yes, a lot of popsicles being on order, so we are ready for the fair when it comes down in August.
Okay, well, one more time, you will be closed Monday, Juneteenth, and it's a federal holiday now, and there'll be I guess all of our county and city offices will be closed. The banks will be closed. There won't be any mail delivery that day, a federal holiday.
That's correct. Yes, sir. We will be out of office on Monday, but we'll be back bright and early on Tuesday morning.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today, DJ Woods. He is Assistant Vice President and Loan Officer for Wilson Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, still here, still independent, still committed to you. Excellence in banking since 1987. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, we're about 11 minutes after the hour, and we're expecting Congressman John Rose to be with us this morning. And I think we might have him on the phone now. Well, maybe we don't. Oh, speaking of Congressman Rose, and Ed, he walks. Sit down. And what a surprise. Congressman, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. Thanks for having me on the show this morning. It's good to see you.
I was expecting you to be calling from Washington, D.C. We've gone over this with members of your staff this week. In fact, I had given somebody the wrong phone number in that. Instead of 449, I had said 444. And we had to get all that straightened out. And what a surprise. Ray Render is here, too. He's one of your men here in Wilson County. Ray, you can say good morning to everybody.
Well, good morning, Wilson County. Thanks for letting us be here this morning.
Brought us donuts as well.
Yes, sir. I have to feed you. I know that.
Much. But you're kind of a backup just in case there's a problem. But, Congressman, it is certainly good to see you. And honestly, what a surprise. I was just wondering why the phone wasn't lighting up as I was talking with DJ, and then here you walk in. So this is great, and you did find the radio station.
I did, but I did the same thing I did the very first time I came, and I shot right past the turn as I was going back east on 141, and of course it always sneaks up on me, it seems. And I was looking for the tower, and I kind of said, I think I'm getting about there. I looked at the tower, and there it went. Turned around and came back.
Well, we better get to business here. There's really a lot to talk about, and of course, one of the reasons you're here today is because back in April at your regular time, we were off the air that day. There was a wreck over on Bluebird Road that knocked the power out for about 5 hours here. So I didn't even get to do my entire program that morning, but we're making up for it today.
The links you'll go to play hooky sometimes.
Well, I want to get right into it. This agreement to raise the debt ceiling, and this entire procedure, I don't think really there was any question in most people's minds as to what was going to be done, how it was going to be done was the issue. And talk about that, if you will.
Well, I think you're right that most of us presumed that clear minds would prevail and we would get to an answer. But I think, unfortunately, it's taking a chance to let it get that close. And we ultimately did get the job done. Congress did, the president. But we got too close to the edge, I believe. And I think that puts the nation at risk. It puts our fiscal house at risk. And so that was disappointing to see. You know, we had reached out through the speaker as at the very earliest point of the year, as soon as we had hit that limit back in early January, to say, let's sit down and work this out. The president, persisted all through those 3 or 4 months, saying he would not negotiate. Finally, in the House, we just took the kind of matter into our own hands and passed the Limit, Save, Grow Act, which was, I believe, a responsible, sensible way to extend the debt ceiling while also addressing the runaway spending that we have in Washington. And so then the president eventually, with only about 3 weeks to spare, sat down and began to negotiate. So it had to be done quickly, but finally got done.
There's some of us who still think we're scared. We're raising the debt ceiling. It continues to go up, and we think that there could be some cuts made. This is something it seems the Democrats won't hardly hear of, and in order to get anything, you pretty much have to hold their feet to the fire.
That's right, and that's what this was ultimately about. I'm one of those. I voted against the Fiscal Responsibility Act, which was the bill that ultimately advanced to it actually suspends the debt ceiling as opposed to extending it, which we might want to talk about. I voted against it not because I didn't think the Fiscal Responsibility Act was a step in the right direction, but I didn't think we went far enough in terms of getting our spending under control. And I kind of liken it to UT football. I might say we won the game. Republicans won the game, but we should have run up the score, and we needed to run up the score because we were, it's one of those times you've watched some of these games. We get ahead, and then we kind of sit on our lead. And this was a time when we should have run up the score, and we do need to make more dramatic cuts. So the bill that passed will result in us going from $32 trillion in debt to $36 trillion in debt in just a little less than 2 years. And that's really heading in the wrong direction. And, one other analogy or metaphor I might say, if you drive off the cliff, it doesn't matter if you're going 100 miles an hour or 75 miles an hour, you're still driving off the cliff. And I think we needed to do more. One of my good friends from Alabama who serves in the House, represents Alabama, Gary Palmer, put it this way. He said, this was a time when we weren't called to do our best. We were called to do what was required. And I think what was required was to take a much bigger step in the right direction.
All right, Congressman John Rose is with us. A break right here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And now let's check back in with Commander Chuck and on-time traffic. Let's see what's happening out there on those roadways. Traffic brought to you by Bates Ford, located at 1673 West Main Street. And they got the low price tire guarantee on all tires they sell every day, up to 30 days after the sale. They beat any competitor's pricing on the tires they sell. You can give them a call at 444-8221. Here's Commander Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic's on the increase now. 65 right now, coming out of Robertson County, making your way all the way down into that small section of Sumner County through Millersville. Still busy, but it's moving on. 24 through the Hickory Hollow area as that traffic leaves Murfreesboro, Rutherford County towards Nashville. Lots of radar. I'm telling you, they're all over the place, up and down 24 in parts of Rutherford and especially Coffee County because of Bonnaroo. It's time to call Crest Pest Control. These guys do more than the average pest control company here in Middle Tennessee. Check them out online at crestpestcontrol.net. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Badura Parkway, across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
And we continue here on a Friday morning. Congressman John Rose is with us. You're telling me you have you're on the Ag Committee, I believe. You were just saying this as we're coming back on the air here, but let's talk about that.
Sure. So I was fortunate with the Republicans coming into the majority in this Congress to get a seat on the Agriculture Committee. As you know, that's an area of great interest of mine, and wanted to share with the listeners that coming up in just about, I guess, 8 or 9 days on June 26th, 10 days, June 26th, we're going to be having a Farm Bill listening session here in Wilson County, one of the few around the country. So very excited about that. 2 in the afternoon at the Made in Tennessee building, the new building over on the Tennessee State, Wilson County Fairgrounds, and a chance for stakeholders, farmers, others interested in the Farm Bill to weigh in and tell members of the Ag Committee. The chairman of the Ag Committee, G.T. Thompson from Pennsylvania, will be on hand. Other members of the Ag Committee will be here. The visitors, dignitaries from around the country will come in for this session, and we'll be touring farms and other areas of interest for agriculture in the Middle Tennessee area over a 2-day
Well,
period.
this is quite a significant event for Wilson County then, and for us and for our Ag Center here.
Absolutely. You know, as best we can determine, this is the first time in history that the Ag Committee has come to Tennessee to talk with stakeholders about the Farm Bill. So very excited about that opportunity.
Now, when is this going to be again?
June the 26th, Monday, June 26th at 2 p.m. at the Made in Tennessee building.
All right, I want to ask you about something I just stumbled on the other day, but there's some sort of I think a bill proposed to, at least it's in the talking stage, to give doctors more flexibility in caring for Medicare patients. And as I understand it, it would allow them maybe to have some sort of a tax write-off or something, so that they would pay more attention, or at least not call out, let's say, Medicaid patients.
That's right. It was introduced just about a month ago. It's called the Health Act, and one of my colleagues from Florida introduced it, but Representative Scott Desjardins here in Tennessee is original co-sponsor of that legislation. And what it would do is it would allow physicians, and I think it's an excellent idea. I was not aware of the bill, actually. There's 3,000 bills that have been introduced so far just in the last few months, but it would allow physicians to deduct from their taxes care that they provide for free of charge to Medicaid eligible individuals. Today, they're not able to do that. And so this would provide an inducement, if you will, or an encouragement for doctors to provide that care at no charge.
So you feel like that this, at least on the surface, is a good idea?
It looks to me like it is.
We always say the details, the devil's in the details.
That's right.
But if we get but the right idea is being presented here.
I think so. I think this is a good idea. And I think I see this often in Congress, members who have ideas like this that I think could move the needle, that could make a big difference. Obviously, we have a problem in this country with the cost of health care. It's unavailable to some people on terms and conditions that they can afford, and that's particularly true for working Americans that have trouble making ends meet.
Well, I don't think your visit would be complete if we didn't talk about President Trump and this indictment that's much in the news now. And how do you feel about this? And is it the right thing to do? And it does seem, for some of us at least, that they're really after him, and others have done things that maybe are far worse, that are just swept under the rug and not even looked at.
Well, I completely agree with that last statement, Coleman. And the way I would put it is, if you look over the arc of history of this country, we've been different from other countries, both throughout time and our contemporary countries that we compare ourselves to, in that we settle our political differences at the ballot box. And if you look at other countries, sometimes we call them banana republics, but sometimes it's large countries like China, where a new leader comes into power. The first thing they do is lock up their political opponents, and to silence them, essentially. And so we have a case here where we have the 45th president, who is the leading contender in the election that will happen next year in 2024 against the current 46th president, Joe Biden. And you know, the current president's Justice Department is pursuing a criminal prosecution. They've technically arrested the president's chief political opponent. And they've done so on charges that, you know, while we could probably debate all day whether those charges might add up to a violation of the law, the truth is we can all observe that this is not something new. The 46th president, Joe Biden, has been found to be in possession of classified documents going all the way back to his time as a United States Senator. Some of these documents he's been in possession of for a decade or more. And he was not even legally in possession of those documents, whereas the current president, the president was legally, our President Trump was legally in possession of these documents that he's accused of keeping. Moreover, we know that prior presidents have done much the same thing. President Clinton was found to have had sensitive material stored in his sock drawer. His wife had over 33,000 emails that she illegally kept that had classified information embedded in them. The current president has been discovered to have classified documents from his time as a United States Senator, which he should have never even had. He should have never had possession of those documents, but he's been found to be in possession of those. He has documents from his time as vice president that have been discovered at a variety of different places. I think we're up to 6 locations where he was storing these documents. And so then we see the Justice Department aggressively pursuing President Trump for that same activity. I think this is a question that would be better settled by the voters at the ballot box.
What do you think is going to happen? Do you have any idea? Is it going to stretch out forever? Will it come to a rapid conclusion?
I think it's probably destined to stretch out for some time, and I hope and I believe probably the voters will get a chance to weigh in on this before the courts do.
Let me switch gears just a little bit here, but the Speaker, McCarthy, I believe.
That's right, Kevin McCarthy.
What kind of marks would you give him? There was controversy in the beginning, and there are some who have said that he had a deal with the Democrats to not get thrown out in case some of these Republicans who are a little bit displeased with him, and in case they tried to overthrow him. You've heard all of this, I'm sure.
I have, and I would tell you, don't believe everything you read or see in the press. But Kevin McCarthy, I think, is a really remarkable leader, and I've become convinced over the time that I've served. He was the minority leader for the Republicans when we were in the minority, and of course now the Speaker of the House. I think we all saw the drama play out in early January, and it was right for people to be concerned about whether Republicans could kind of get organized. You have to remember we have a 4 or 5 seat majority, so it's a very slim number. It's like herding cats. You've got 223 Republicans, and getting that many people to agree on anything is a challenge. And when you can only have 4 or 5 disagree, and then you have discord, that's a problem. And so I think Speaker McCarthy has really done, under those circumstances, what I would describe as an exceptional job. We don't always agree. He doesn't always get everything I wish he would. But he's the one that's having to do that math and deal with all of those personalities. If you think about Washington, you got a lot of egos, 535 of them that are elected egos that are there, and that's tough territory to sled.
It's really an honor to have you with us, even when it's on the telephone, but to be here live in studio this morning is even more. And I want you, in our last minute or so here, remind us again, this meeting is coming up on Monday, June 26th, a special thing really for Wilson County to have this meeting of the Ag Committee.
That's right. So this is a Farm Bill year. Every 5 years, the Congress passes the Farm Bill, going all the way back to the Depression era. 2023 is a year when Congress is supposed to pass a new farm bill. Policy affecting all of the agricultural programs that farmers deal with, plus the nutrition program. So actually is the largest component of the farm bill is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP program. Represents a very big expenditure for the country. That's part of the policy that we have to deal with. And so we'll be coming, members of the Ag Committee will be coming to Tennessee. Representative Scott Desjardins, who represents the 4th District, also serves on the Ag Committee. So he and I and the Chairman, G.T. Thompson, other members will be here as well. We'll have farm leaders from across the country. The American Farm Bureau President, Zippy Duval, is coming in for this event, and an opportunity for Tennessee farmers and stakeholders that are interested in Farm Bill legislation to come and share their views with the Ag Committee here at the Tennessee State Fairgrounds, Wilson County Fairgrounds, on June 26th at 2 p.m. Made in Tennessee
really
building.
Great. We've come to the end of our time, but thank you again for being with us, and we just appreciate being able to have you from time to time, and we look forward to your visit in July at the regular time.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure to represent the people of the 6th District.
Congressman John Rose and Part 1 of Coleman and Company, we hope you'll keep it here for more FM 98.9.
And now we are going to check back in with Commander Chuck and on-time traffic, find out what's happening out there on the roadways. Ag Traffic is brought to you by Absolute Kubota. They will help you rent the right tool for the job. The Kubota Orange Rental Program makes it easy to rent the right equipment. Stop by Absolute Kubota and check out the U35 excavator or the SVL 75 compact track loader, located at 1506 West Main Street in Lebanon. And you can call them at 615-449-6171. And here's Commander Chuck.
Good morning. We've watched traffic really pick up in the last few minutes. 24 westbound and through the Hickory Hollow area, coming in from Rutherford County towards Nashville. A wreck at Briley Parkway entrance ramp there at Lebanon Pike. We saw that a few minutes ago. Melrose at Grandview. Lots of radar in parts of, let's say, Rutherford County and Coffee County because of Bonnaroo. As you travel up and down I-24 over the weekend, watch for lots of radar. They're already out here. Hey, Nash Painting. They service all of Middle Tennessee. These guys are #1 across the board. Check them out online at nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Collier Engineering is a civil engineering design firm that can provide surveying for your home or property. A family-owned business in Nashville, Collier Engineering has multiple employees in Wilson County, including survey manager Dan Curry. He's a registered land surveyor and a certified floodplain surveyor. He would love the opportunity to assist with your surveying needs. Visit collierengineering.com. Call 931-510-2800. Mention this ad and get 10% off.
Some heat on the way for us today, with temperatures reaching 90 by this afternoon. We will get to enjoy a gentle breeze with it, though, to keep things a little more comfortable. We'll see a low of 63 overnight and a high of 86 coming for Saturday. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm #1 Ned.
Coleman and Company, welcome to Part 2. It's a Friday morning, and boy, we've got 2 members of the C&D team of Exit Rocky Top Realty.
Didn't know what you were going to say.
Well, Miss Judy joins us today. Medina, you had it by yourself last week, as I recall.
I survived.
Maybe the last 2 weeks. I don't know. Judy, good to see you.
Good to be here.
All right. They, of course, 2 members off the C&D team, Exit Rocky Top Realty, located at 1330 West Main Street in Lebanon. They are great people, great service. They can take care of your real estate needs, and they come here each Friday morning at this time to talk about it. Are you going to go first today?
I guess I will. Since
right.
Is it okay, Madame?
Yeah.
All right. I have to get permission now.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I have listened to your semi-lectures here for several months now, and I have learned a lot of things. Now, all of them, some of it goes in one ear and out the other, but I mean, all the stuff that you have experienced over your years in real estate, you ought to write a book.
I've thought about that. Tips, do not do this.
Right.
It wouldn't be just one book, it would be volumes.
But we had talked about the other day about people when you're selling your home and deciding what what you're taking with you and what you're going to leave. And we talked about the swing situation. And I was going to touch on a few more things that people have trouble with. And we just had this to happen yesterday. A mover, a lot of people now, I think about 80% of the people have flat screen TVs. Well, they hang them on the wall. Well, there's brackets that put those TVs up. Well, people can take their TV, but a lot of agents and a lot of people do not read the contracts. The Real Estate Commission contract has got a list of everything that should stay with the house unless you say otherwise. And they don't read all that list. And they don't know, I was supposed to leave that? I didn't know that when I signed it. So realtors need to do our jobs to make sure they understand what they got to take and what they can leave. And if they're going to take something that's on that list, we got to put it in the contract so everybody knows ahead of time. But a lot of times we went yesterday and the movers had moved their big screen TVs, but they were supposed to leave the TVs. Well, they took the brackets. And if you're going to take your bracket that fits your TV, that's fine and dandy if you know ahead of time. But you've got to know, if you take the bracket, you've got to repair the hole, and you've got to repaint. So most of the time, it's cheaper to go get your own bracket than to take that thing down, pay somebody to fix the hole on the wall, and then you got to paint it to match the rest of the paint. Well, if the TV's been hanging there a while, that's going to be kind of hard unless you want to paint the whole wall. So here we go. And then basketball goes. A lot of people have a basketball go attached to the house, and it was my little kids all these years. I'm taking that with me. Well, it's attached. You got to say that you want to take it with you. And you wouldn't think people would do this, but they do. Gas logs. They'll take their gas logs out of the fireplace.
Yes,
they take their gas logs with them, and it's a gas burning fireplace. And you get there, and the gas logs are gone. And you're like, what did they think they were supposed to take those for? Well, we just bought them and we were going to take them with us. The Ring doorbells are a big thing. People install those. Well, when you install them, you make a hole in the side of the house. Well, if you're taking your Ring doorbell, you're going to have to fix that back to where it was.
You need to read the fine print.
That's right. And remotes. We have trouble with people not leaving their remotes to their garage or the key fobs to their house. All these things, because those remotes are expensive, and people they'll leave one remote to get in when they had 4 remotes. If you got a 4-car garage, you probably got 4 remotes. And in the contract, when you list your house, you put how many remotes you got. That's how many you're supposed to leave. And a lot of times as buyer's agents, if we always ask, make sure the remotes are there. And we want this many. If it's a 2-car, we want 2 remotes. If you only got one, go get you another one. I was trying to think also on the curtain rods. Yep. That's one of the main things. People say, oh, that's my curtains. I'll leave the shades. Oh, I'm going to leave the curtains. I'll take the blinds. Well, okay, figure out what you're going to take. But what happens with the rods? Are you taking your rods with you? Well, guess what? You got to fix the hole and repaint around where the rod was. It's cheaper most of the time to go get other new rods when you move and leave those rods in place. Every time you take down something, you got to repair what you just took down, because there's always a hole there. Somehow it got attached. And also the bathroom mirrors. Powder rooms, people buy a real pretty decorative mirror and hang there. It's attached to that wall. So don't go take it unless you want to fix the hole. So there's things you got to consider. Is it worth taking that down and paying somebody to fix all that, or is it cheaper to just go buy another one?
Well, things I'd never even remotely thought about. Of course, I hadn't sold many houses either, but
but when they take the fireplace logs, you're like, and in the contract it says the doors, the windows, the carpet. Everybody knows you're not going to take the door with you, surely. And now, we have had a few people want to take their front door.
Yes, yes.
And put in another one. And people all the time want to take their ceiling fans.
Yeah.
Well, you got to install another one that's comparable to the one you're taking if they've already seen the house.
Refrigerator is another big one.
Refrigerator is always a big one. Oh, I thought I was taking that. Well, it's on the moving truck, but too bad. You got to take it off. So anyway, I'll let Medina talk.
Okay, Medina, it's your turn.
Well, whenever I speak on...
You can't top that, but it's your turn.
Exactly. I'll never be able to top that. But whenever I speak about our listings, I want to bring you up to speed about the ones that I always speak about, but we've got a contract on.
Yeah.
And we have a contract on 192 Haley Road. We're closing next week. That was the farm, the 80 acres in Watertown. We have a contract on that. We're closing next week. And then we had the listing on Goshen Road. That was the 4-year-old house, a beautiful farm, and we closed on it yesterday. And
Congratulations.
yes, thank you. And we had a listing on Canesville Road that we talked about for 3 weeks. It was almost 3 acres, and we closed on it a couple of weeks ago. So the listings that I talk about on the air on your show, people are listening because we get phone calls either right after the show or a couple of days after. I heard you talking about such and such listing. I would like to go see it. So wanted to let you know that it's working, that a lot of people, you have a lot of fans.
That's
that
good to
listen
hear.
you.
Good to hear.
Yes. And so I wanted to talk
Good
about
for your
it.
pocketbook, too.
That always helps. I enjoy what I do, but I need to make a living too.
There you go.
But another listing that we have is on Old Murfreesboro Road, 2070 Old Murfreesboro Road. It's almost 3 acres. It has a home on it that is 4 bedrooms, 2 full baths. It has 2 detached garages. One of them is a auto mechanic garage shop, and the other one is a detached garage. It's residential now. It can be turned into commercial very easily because commercial is all around it. And so they're asking $649,900. That's the list price. Give us a call on that one. It's like I said, it's sitting on almost 3 acres. So give us a call. It's close to I-40. It's close to 231 South. It's minutes. You're right there in the middle of everything. So give us a call on that one. And we've got some more coming up in a couple of weeks. We're getting it ready to show and getting them ready to put on the market. But give us a call because we like to list homes, but we don't like to keep them long. We like to get the new buyers in there and get the sellers out where they're going to go because they have their eyes set on somewhere else they want to go. So
Well, this morning
us a
sounded like
call.
you've been doing a good job of that.
Yes, and we just had a house on Old Lagardo Road, and we had it on the market 2 weeks, maybe.
Not even 2
And
weeks.
we have a contract on it as of last night.
Oh, boy.
So everything is still moving here, so give us a call because people are moving here or moving houses down the street or across town for get ready for school in the end of July. So give
And
us
if
a
you're
call.
wondering about that phone number, 615-443-3130.
That's correct. And remember, don't make a move without us.
You like to mess that up.
No, I was just making sure you caught me.
Thank you so much.
Have a great weekend.
Oh, Miss Judy and Medina, C&D team, Exit Rocky Top Realty. We're about 18 minutes away from the 8 o'clock hour, and my guest is here this morning. Not exactly the person I was expecting, but Gail Emmert Hallam, I believe it is now, who she sort of forgot about us this morning. And we've got Dan Meissner, is that right?
That is correct.
Dan, good morning.
Good morning.
You've been here before?
I have not.
No.
This is my first time to Lebanon, Tennessee.
Really?
Yes.
Well, what do we got to talk about?
So I'm a member of an organization called Classic Green, and we have a get-together every 2 years called the Classic Green Reunion. And this year it is here in Lebanon, Tennessee, over at the Wilson County Fairgrounds. Our first one was in 2019 in Nebraska. Second one was in 2021 in Columbus, Ohio. What we are is we are a group of like-minded individuals that love all things John Deere. We don't come because the tractors and the equipment is what brings us together, but our organization is really about the people. And so over at the Wilson County Fairgrounds right now, there is 750 plus John Deere exhibits. So there's tractors, there's plows, there's anything pretty much prior to 1985 for equipment. And then there's 2,500 people is what came through our gate yesterday. We would like to welcome any of your listeners who would like to come down to our show. It's $15 a day to get in. And we have a huge list of activities going on through the day for the kids. We have play areas for the kids. We have people that would love to share their tractors with your listeners. You can come out, jump on a tractor, and drive it around. If you've never driven a tractor, come on out. These folks would love to share their prides and joys with you.
All right. So I take it this is your first time to be in Lebanon, Tennessee?
So I've been here twice for meetings.
Okay.
But I've been here since Sunday. Lebanon, Tennessee has been an amazing, welcoming community. The state of Tennessee has been amazing. You guys have great people out here in Tennessee.
Well, I think we do have a wonderful facility out here. I don't know if you've heard the story, but it started out, I think, with about 100 acres. I don't know how many is there now, but when the county commission, which might have been called the county quarterly court or something at that time, but several years ago, when they bought that, there was some criticism, and why are you doing this? And everybody wasn't for it. But it has been a success, and of course, the Wilson County Fair took over there a long time ago under the leadership of Wilson County Promotions and started very small but grew just about every year until it's one of the biggest fairs in the whole country. I think in the top 50 maybe in the whole country in attendance now, and so good that the Tennessee State Fair wanted to join us, and so I guess this will be the third year that we've been the Wilson County Fair, Tennessee State Fair. That's a great story in itself, but the fact that you choose this, how did y'all choose this location? You were talking about being at other places.
So it's funny you asked that because I am actually the show site chairman. I'm the one who goes with my team to find our locations. And the reason why you guys got on the books is because of some native Tennesseans that live right here in the great state of Tennessee, Mr. Jamie and Jackie Bell. They're from White Bluff, Tennessee, and they're on the founding board as well as board of directors. And as we're looking for locations, they thought, well, why not we look at Wilson County Fairgrounds? And so they went in there and talked with Gail and then at Quentin, and they got a plan put together and they forwarded it on to us. And sure enough, we ended up choosing that location. They've been our show committee chairman. We've been planning this show for 2 years. There's about 30 other Tennesseans that are on the committee that have helped bring all these people in. We have people that have come from New Zealand, Australia. We have multiple tractors that have come from Washington State, Oregon on the coast. We have people from New York. We have over 50 people that have come from Canada for this show. So it is really a worldwide event right here in Lebanon, Tennessee.
All right, we got to go to a break right here. Dan Meisner is my guest, and the name of your organization is?
Classic Green.
Classic Green, just like it says on your cap here.
Absolutely.
Classic Green. We're going to talk more with Dan about Classic Green and all that's happening at the Ward Ag Center, and after we go to this break. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And now let's check back in with Commander Chuck and on-time traffic. Find out what's happening out there on the roadways. Traffic brought to you by Bates Ford, located at 1673 West Main Street. And they got the Works vehicle checkup going on for you. $59.95 tire rotation, safety check, and that 5 quarts of oil plus disposal. And you can give them a call at 444-8221. Here's Commander Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic's on the increase, even more so now on 24 coming past Bell Road going westbound. On 24 up through Antioch coming in from Rutherford County. Lots of radar around here up and down 24, especially in parts of Rutherford into Coffee County around the Manchester area because of Bonnaroo that's going on. Hey, if you own your own business, you may be ready for your next adventure. Dynamite Brokers can help you sell your business with a huge profit. Check them out online at dynamitebrokers.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
You know, starting to save for your future doesn't have to be difficult. Let Wilson Bank and Trust help tone up your financial goals this year. Our certificates of deposits or CDs can help your money work harder with our competitive rates, earning you more than ever before. WBT checking options allow you to earn rewards you can really use, like a high interest rate or cash back on check card purchases when you meet some e-banking qualifications. Visit your closest Wilson Bank and Trust office or online at wilsonbank.com to get started today. Member FDIC.
It's summertime, summertime, summertime.
The sun is shining, flowers are blooming, and it's time to get your backyard ready for all that summertime fun.
Well, if you want a bigger backyard, or maybe you don't want to mow anymore, let us help you find the home that fits your needs.
Houses are flying off the market so quickly, you really need to get a real estate agent to help you to find that dream home.
That's why you don't make a move without us.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmenthaler at Exit Rocky Top Realty, C&D Team, 443-3130.
Thanks for joining us. Our final segment of Coleman and Company here on a Friday morning. And if you just joined us, we have a special guest, really. This has been a special day. Congressman Rose right here live in studio with us. And now Dan Meisner from
Classic Green.
And where?
I live in Elk City, Oklahoma. That's where I come from.
Okay. Well, you... They told me during the break at 7:30, Gail forgot she sent somebody. Honestly, I thought she might be sending one of her assistants or somebody that's out there at the Farm Bureau Expo building. But anyway, Dan Meisner from Oklahoma, and are you pretty much in charge of the Classic Green event here?
So there's a group of 15 board of directors for the Classic Green, which I am on, but I will be coming in as vice president tomorrow night when we change the gavel. So I guess you could say that I'm kind of in charge partially. And then we have our show committee, which is about 35 to 40 individuals. And there's a couple areas within that committee that I'm in charge of as well.
Okay, when did your event actually begin?
So our event began yesterday morning at 9 o'clock. We had a great turnout yesterday. Lots of folks from the area came in. We were extremely pleased with the turnout.
Good. And I believe you said $15 admission.
Yes. So because yesterday's over, it's $15 for today and $15 tomorrow. If you came yesterday, you could have got a 3-day pass for $40. We don't charge for parking. You can come in. If you have a golf cart, I would suggest bringing it. The grounds are fairly large, as I'm sure you know, and there's so much to see. We do charge $15 a day to put a permit on your cart as well, and there's a waiver that you've got to sign. But we would love to have anybody come out if they'd like to come.
All right. Now, if you're a fan of green, if you're a John Deere person, you don't want to miss this. I take it.
Oh, absolutely. If you enjoy farm equipment, if you enjoy John Deere, you absolutely don't want to miss this. But I will say, even if you don't know what a tractor is or haven't ever been on one, we'd love to have you come out. And I'm going to share with you a little story that happened to me yesterday. We went into Nashville to make a deposit. Myself and our treasurer did at a credit union. And as we were getting everything figured out, the teller was talking to us, and he was asking us about Classic Green just like you are. Long story short, he's bringing his little brother out tomorrow to experience Classic Green. They've never been around tractors. He's like, well, I'd love to come out and bring my little brother. We said, come on out, we'll put him on a tractor and let him drive. And when I say that, I mean that. Please come out during the day. We have at 4 o'clock, actually, for an hour today, starting at 4 p.m., we have what's called tractor driving. Out in front of the Farm Bureau building, we have a bunch of tractors lined up, and the owners are there, and they will teach you how to drive the tractor. They've got a spot that they can stand next to you, and you can get on that tractor, and you can drive around the fairgrounds with the tractor.
Wow. What else is there? What about food? I take it if you pay $15 for this, and you want to really get your money's worth, you're going to spend some time there. If you're there for a while, you want something to eat and drink.
Absolutely. We have a bunch of food vendors there. A lot of them you guys would probably be familiar with if you're used to coming out for the Tennessee State Fair, because those that are folks that are there. We have food trucks throughout the facility. You can come. There's ice cream. There's a gentleman making homemade ice cream with a John Deere tractor. Yes, come on out. There's plenty of food.
How many people do you anticipate it's 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right?
That is correct.
Over the 3-day time, what's your anticipated attendance?
Our goal was to hit 8,000 people over the 3 days. So we would love to have you guys help us break that goal. In Ohio, we hit 7,500. And we'd love to be able to beat that and say that Tennessee beat Ohio.
Yeah, absolutely. They're part of the Big Ten, right?
Exactly.
Get a little sports in here, but you've had a good experience here.
Oh, absolutely. We have a great experience. The local VFW is out there with their food truck, but at 9 o'clock is actually our opening time this morning. 9:15, they help us with a flag raising ceremony. We have the national anthem, and then that's kind of where things start throughout the day. We have times where certain tractors start up. We've got the kids area, whole bunch of John Deere toys that the kids can come out and play with throughout the day. We have a parade that starts at 1 o'clock. We have the tractor driving at 4. There's a couple seminars. We've got one today on cotton. A lot of folks that are coming in haven't been around cotton, and you guys are kind of known for cotton in the South. So we've got a seminar talking about cotton. There's cotton strippers out there. There's just so much to see that you can't really get it done in a day.
What time do you shut down at night?
So tonight the flag lowering is at 8 o'clock. We do also have a tractor pull tonight in the arena if you want to come out for the tractor pull. But our kind of close time is 8 o'clock. One other thing I would throw out there for today, the last 2 years, we have been traveling around with a 19, I can't give you the year now, Model G tractor that an FFA club in Ohio restored for us. That tractor will be given away tonight at 8:30 p.m. at the fairgrounds. They were $10 a ticket. We have about 15 tickets left. And it will be live on our Facebook page, Classic Green. And then we also have 2 other tractors that were restored by the Dixon County FFA here in Tennessee. And there was an organization down in Elmont FFA in Alabama. 2 more tractors that we will be giving away at our show in CGR 25 at that location.
So you're actually selling, we'd say, raffle tickets for these tractors, and somebody is going to win.
Correct. Somebody.
You got the 3 or 4?
3 right now. So one is given away tonight. We've been selling tickets for 2 years, but that tractor will be given away tonight. They do have the option to donate the tractor back to the organization and take $3,000 cash as their prize money.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in a ticket for that tractor, come on out. We'll sell you one. Like I said, we've got a few left, but we also have those other 2 tractors that'll be given away in 2 years.
Well, you're impressing me with what you're saying with your organization. It seems like you're well organized.
Oh, we've put a lot of work into this. It's been a lot of fun. I would like to give one other quick shout out to the Nashville Speedway. On Monday, I was able to take our Classic Green 23 committee, and we went out to the Speedway where we had 17 John Deere tractors, and we drove around the racetrack.
Really?
Yes, we did. We worked with their children's Speedway.
Experience.
Oh, it was absolutely amazing. If you look at the Wilson County Convention and Visitors Bureau's Facebook page, they've got a bunch of pictures of us out there making a lap on the track.
Did you do that yourself?
I was actually the lead tractor in the one. I was the pace car.
The bank is pretty steep.
Yes, the bank was pretty steep. We had to stay off on 2 of the curves because it was too steep, and they made fun of me because my mom was driving one of my tractors, and on the bank we ran out of gas because the bank was too steep. So, but it was a blast.
Well, Dan, you're kind of a blast here this morning, but we appreciate it. We got about 3.5 more minutes here, but Classic Green at the Ward Ag Center, and you got the whole thing pretty much?
We pretty much have the entire place. So we're in the Farm Bureau building where Gail's at. We have the entire fairgrounds except for the livestock area from Quinton. And then we also rented all of Fiddler's Grove. And so in Fiddler's Grove, we have a whole bunch of tractors. Probably the newest one in there is about 1945. Lots of tractors on steel wheel. The blacksmith shop is up and running. The broom maker shop, pretty much any building that's in that facility is up and running. So today when it hits 90 degrees and you're in the sun and it's getting a little hot, head up to Fiddler's Grove in the shade, and there's still amazing exhibits up in that area.
And again, approximately how many tractors are on display here?
So we're anticipating at this point 750 plus. We are going to do our count tomorrow morning because we have folks coming in still today. I can tell you, if you're used to the fairgrounds out there, off to the east side, there's a lot of camping spots in the grass off of the blacktop. That entire area is bumper to bumper trailers that hauled this equipment in. It's full, that entire area. So I would guess that we're over that, but to give us a little bit of cushion, we're saying 750 plus, but we were hoping total for 1,000
Well, to
tractors.
say the least, you're contributing to our local economy, and that's something tourism is kind of all about, you know?
Oh, absolutely. We've been out eating at your restaurants. We're staying in your hotels. We have over 100 campers that are camping on site right there at the fairgrounds. Your community has opened their arms and welcomed us in. We appreciate that. It has been a blast being in Lebanon.
We didn't talk any hardly about you. Tell us we've got just 2 minutes, but where did you grow up in Oklahoma?
So no, I grew up in the state of South Dakota. My dad was a farmer and a custom harvester. So we would haul combines down to the south and follow the wheat harvest north all the way to the Canadian border and then do fall harvest. And I actually done that my entire life up until November is when I semi-retired. I decided to get out of that business, and I'm focusing more on my antique tractor collecting, the John Deere hobby. And I started.
You got a few of your own?
I've got a few of my own. I think I'm up to 7 right now.
Have you met Ricky Haskins?
The name sounds familiar.
Well, he's got a bunch of John Deere tractors every year.
Yes. I did talk to that gentleman yesterday because he was going to bring us 12 or 15 tractors. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, we got one person in common at least, besides Gail.
Absolutely.
Dan, you've done a great job telling us. And again, this will end tomorrow night, but $15 is a price for admission, and there's plenty of food and drinks and other things to spend some money on if you want, all at the Ward Ag Center and the Farm Bureau Expo. You've got it all there, or most of it anyway, and going all day today, tonight, and then all day tomorrow.
That is correct. And when they come, if they'll come down Payton Road and park on that side, that's where all the spectator parking is.
Thanks for being with us. I appreciate your visit.
Thank you.
That's going to do it for a Friday morning. Have a nice weekend, and until Monday, I wish you a fantastic day.